Okay, so we're diving into this collection of materials about Frederic Deltour's holistic therapy training.
Mhm.
Testimonials, program descriptions, you really went all out.
Well, there's just, so much to unpack. I really wanted to get a sense of what makes this program tick, and whether it lives up to all the hype.
Totally. And you're right, the word transformation keeps popping up in these testimonials. But it seems like more than just a buzzword here, right? People are talking about like fundamental shifts in how they see themselves, how they see the world, not just, oh, I learned a new technique.
Yeah, and that's a really important distinction because you see, a lot of programs teach you the tools of therapy, right? But this seems different. This blurring of the lines between professional development and like deep personal growth.
It's like he's found the secret link between inner work and outward success or something.
It seems that way, right? I mean, look at Raw Flo. She completely changed careers after this training,
Yeah.
left the corporate world to pursue her passion.
Okay, now that's pretty impressive. Makes you wonder, what is it about this program that unlocks that kind of self-belief?
That's the million-dollar question. And part of the answer seems to lie in this emphasis on a holistic approach.
Okay, holistic, we see that word everywhere. What does it actually mean in this context?
So imagine this, right? Instead of treating the mind and body as these separate things, holistic therapy is all about recognizing how deeply interconnected they are. It takes into account your emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual well-being, the whole picture.
So it's not about just fixing isolated symptoms, it's more like understanding the whole person.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is how this program breaks it down into those four key areas we talked about: the emotional, the mental, the physical, and the spiritual. It's really comprehensive, which might explain why people are describing these profound shifts. It's not about fixing one part, it's about aligning everything.
Okay, I'm starting to get a clearer picture now, but let's not forget about the toolkit here, right? Because Frederic draws from like a really wide range of therapeutic approaches. We're talking Gestalt, Ericksonian hypnosis, NLP. That's pretty eclectic.
It really is. And I think that's another key to the program's potential. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It seems like Frederick understands that different people resonate with different modalities. So he's giving his students a really versatile skill set.
Instead of just one school of thought, he's pulling from all of them to create something much more adaptable.
Exactly.
That's actually really intriguing. It's like having a Swiss Army knife of therapeutic techniques.
That's a great way to put it. It speaks to the flexibility and the personalization that, seem to be central to this program's effectiveness.
Mhm.
And remember, this isn't just theory. We're seeing this reflected in the real life experiences of the people who've actually gone through the training.
You're right. So let's dive into some of those techniques a bit further, because I have a feeling our listener is right there with us, wanting to know how these different approaches actually work. Let's start with Gestalt. What exactly is going on there?
Okay, so imagine this. You're stuck in your own head, right? Reliving past mistakes, or you're anxious about the future. Gestalt, at least in this program, seems to be about bringing you back to the present moment. It's about like fully experiencing, life right here, right now.
Which I imagine could be so powerful for people who struggle with overthinking, anxiety.
Exactly. And it goes even deeper than just being present. Gestalt really emphasizes this idea of personal responsibility, like recognizing how your thoughts, feelings, behaviors, they're all connected.
So you become more aware of those patterns,
Yeah.
and then you can actually start to choose how you respond.
Exactly. And that can be so incredibly liberating, especially for someone who wants to work in a helping profession like therapy.
Right, makes sense. Okay, so how about Ericksonian hypnosis? That one always piques my curiosity.
It does have that mysterious ring to it, doesn't it? But, it's not about making someone cluck like a chicken or anything like that.
Okay, good to know.
It's much more about collaboration. Ericksonian hypnosis, it's kind of like this gentle dance between the conscious and subconscious minds.
Okay, I'm listening. How does that actually work?
So instead of using those, direct suggestions, practitioners, they'll use storytelling, metaphors, these really subtle language patterns to kind of guide you into the state of, heightened suggestibility.
So you're tapping into the power of the subconscious, but it's not about being like put under.
Exactly. You're accessing this different level of awareness.
Hmm.
And what's really fascinating here is that Frederick seems to be weaving all these different techniques together in this really intentional yet intuitive way.
He's empowering his students to work with that whole person, right? Mind and body,
Yeah.
to create truly lasting change.
Yes, precisely.
And speaking of lasting change, we have to talk about those personal stories that are sprinkled throughout these materials. I mean, it's one thing to talk about these techniques in theory, but to hear about real people using them to overcome challenges,
Right.
it really brings this whole program to life.
It does. It makes it real. And these testimonials, they aren't just these fluffy, feel-good stories. They offer a glimpse into the potential of this work. I mean, take Nancy, for example. She was able to help a friend save their marriage just by using some of the communication tips she'd learned.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it speaks to that ripple effect this training seems to have, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not just about your own transformation, but about how you can then go on to impact others.
It's like you become this positive force in the world. And then there's Nora's story. This one really stuck with me.
Okay.
So she starts coaching this woman who is facing like a mountain of challenges.
Yeah.
Financial worries, relationship issues, past trauma.
Oh, wow.
And Nora had only been through like 1 month of training at this point, but she felt equipped to help guide her client.
It's amazing, right? Like, he's unlocked something in them. And you see it with these graduates, like Magali, talking about this feeling of belonging, like they found a supportive community.
Which is so important, right, in any field, but especially something like this, personal and professional growth.
Yeah.
It seems like Frederic's created this space where students can be vulnerable, support each other, grow together.
It's not just about, mastering techniques. It's about finding your own voice as a
Yeah.
holistic therapist.
Exactly. And that's what's so refreshing about this. It's not about fitting into a box. It's about becoming the best possible version of you as a healer.
And that's what makes this so interesting, right? We're not just looking at a program. We're exploring what it really means to heal, to grow, to really connect with ourselves, with other people.
Absolutely. And these graduates, you can tell they're taking that to heart. Look at what they're doing, creating these amazing practices.
Right. Helping people with anxiety, life transitions, strengthening relationships. We've got Natalie focusing on women's empowerment.
Caroline specializing in family coaching. It's like this program, it gives you this strong foundation, and then you can go in any direction.
Exactly. And it shows how adaptable holistic therapy can be. It's not about one solution fits all. It's about having the tools to tailor your approach to each person, each situation.
Right? It recognizes that everyone's different. Everyone's journey is unique.
So you're not just getting a skill set. You're getting this whole toolkit
Yeah.
that you can use in so many different ways. It's like, I don't know, graduating with a superpower, this ability to help people heal themselves.
I love that. That's such a great way to put it. And that's why this deep dive has been so fascinating, because it reminds us that transformation doesn't end when the program ends. It's a lifelong journey. It's constantly evolving.
And I think our listeners are probably feeling that same sense of possibility. What speaks to them? What are they curious about? Because as we've seen here, the most powerful transformations start with that self-reflection, that commitment to growth. And we hope that this deep dive has given everyone the tools and the inspiration to do just that.